Today we're going to be installing a door stop in the bathroom because the door opens too far and then it hits the wall. And it seems like that would very easily break the tile, although it's been like that for 70 something years and it hasn't broken yet, so maybe this isn't necessary, but I still don't think it's correct the way it is. So we'll put a stopper on. I have this one, which we'll use. I don't really like this kind because I find that it has a lot of residual play before it starts working. But in this case here, the tile goes all the way down the wall, and I'm not a tile person. I don't know how to do tile. I don't want to drill through tile. So I can't use the other kind that you would screw onto the wall. I suppose I could just screw it onto the door. I don't know. Let's give this one a shot first and see how this works. And this should be very simple, but since simple tasks tend to get complicated, I figured I'll record it anyways because it'll probably be complicated. So first we got to remove the hinge. I typically just try to push it up, and it's pretty good on there, so I have to get a hammer. Okay, that wasn't too bad. So now we should be able to just slip this over the top. And of course I don't have a cutting implement in here, so I'm going to struggle for a few minutes to open the package. Okay, so the how do they say that they want to put it on? So they say that the flat side should face the door and the round side should face the wall. I don't agree with that because this has a bigger surface area, and I think the sheetrock is going to be more vulnerable to getting a hole in it than the door is. So I'm going to put it on this way, and if that's not the way it was intended to be used, well, that's just too bad. And while you're at this, it's a good idea to put a couple drops of oil into the hinge. It just makes the door move much more nicely. I'm not going to do that right now because the bottom one needs to be done too, so it's a matter of just doing both at the same time later on. Okay. So that's on. Now we got to adjust it. Oh, actually, that's not hitting the. It's not hitting the sheetrock. It's hitting the trim, but I still think it's better this way. It's actually a little bit rounded, so it just hits better. All right, so let's adjust this. Screw this out a bit to get it longer, and actually, it's not too bad. But see, this is kind of what I was talking about before when I mentioned I don't really like this kind because it has, like, it's really stops holding it right there, or it really stops it from moving right there, but it's like it'll spring open, you know, and the other ones don't do that, so I find that a bit annoying. This one doesn't seem too bad. Probably has more to do with the door setup than the mechanism itself. I think like that is probably okay. You know, it's enough to keep it away from the wall, but it's not springing back too much. I mean, this isn't a door that you whip open, you know, you just open it slowly and it just happens to unintentionally hit sometimes. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's good enough. That'll be enough to catch the accidental fling at the door. I think maybe when I replace the doors, I'll try screwing the other kind into the door itself, and that should work better. but for now this is fine.